Welcome back, friends. Now, I've heard some feedback that this channel has maybe gone a little bit too much into adult humor on stream and in these YouTube videos. And so I make a pledge to kind of go back to being a little bit more classy here, and we will avoid immature adult jokes. Now, unfortunately, today we're also going to be talking about Khezu, who looks like a screeching leech. Why did they have to make it so bald and slimy? Why is he... I can't even say the word now. Is his skin hard or something? Khezu hunts. Welcome back to another Monster Hunter Rise journal where I play through all of Monster Hunter Rise, hunt every monster, and document my journey through the process. If you like this, I've also done it for Monster Hunter World, and I'm currently doing it for Monster Hunter Iceborne, so subscribe and like the video if you're into that kind of stuff. If you're not, well, there's other videos from other YouTubers who do other things that I don't do, so you can always check that out. Now, this is stream number 2, and I've been comparing Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter World a lot because I am playing them simultaneously, and I just want to say, now that I'm getting into the flow of playing one and then the other, one and then the other, they are such different games. I think I'm going to drop the comparison at this point because when I'm playing one, it's very hard to even compare it to the other at this point because yes, they are the same, but they are also different. Even when I go back and look at my footage, they're both Monster Hunter games, but they feel and play so different. It feels like two entire different games. In Monster Hunter Rise, it does feel a lot more homey, a lot more like, oh, I'm in this village and we're hanging out and we're gonna go have some fun and hunt some monsters, and the whole music, the aesthetic, everything feels like its own world. And then when I jump over to World, it's like I'm in a whole like epic movie doing a whole different kind of journey. So in my mind, I think I am essentially playing two different games that just happen to have the same name in common. That's about it. So anyways, let's talk about what we did last week. It was a short stream, so I didn't do as much. But first thing is switch skills. And this, I don't think I'm far enough into the game to appreciate it. It only messed me up so far. So switch skills lets you play your weapons in different styles, which I'm all down for that. I like that specifically as I'm playing Monster Hunter World. Look at that, I'm already making a comparison after I said no comparisons. In Monster Hunter World, when I was at the end of my base world playthrough, I was getting a little tired of the same repetitive combo. The fact that you have switch skills lets you play the same weapon and change it up once you get tired. Now, I switched skills 4 hours into learning a new weapon, which was the Charge Blade, which was probably not a smart idea because I still don't have the Charge Blade down, as a lot of Charge Blade users can attest to when they watch me play and they're just like, oh, what is he doing? So I switched that, and then I went into a fight and I was trying to do all of my like sword attacks to charge up my sword and my shield, and it wasn't working. And that's when I realized, oh, switch skills removes that and puts more emphasis on the axe mode, where now the axe spins like some kind of like crazy gear, and you just like a chainsaw, and you just like right through a monster. I love that. So I think I'm going to spend more time on this version of the Charge Blade to get a sense of that, because I've been trying to play Charge Blade, I'm saying that right, with the sword and shield combo, and I've realized I gravitate more towards the axe, which is funny because in Switch Axe it's the same thing. You have an axe and a sword, and I keep playing the axe mode. So there's something I like about axes, and I think I'm just going to... I went into the Charge Blade really trying to master it the way other people play it, and other people have like the meta of the Charge Blade, and I think that was really holding me back, because when I played Switch Axe in World, I wasn't looking up how to optimize the gameplay. I wasn't really asking how to do this and that. I was asking how to do some certain combos, but I essentially learned on my own and felt and settled in what felt natural. And the more I played, the more I unlocked kind of higher ways to play it. And I think that is the key here. So with the Charge Blade, I'm just like, all right, I'm going to tune out everything, and I'm going to learn myself and play this the way I like to play. Even when you look at my Switch Axe skills in World, I am definitely not playing that weapon optimally. Like, everyone's like, use the sword mode, and it's like, well, I don't like using the sword mode that much. I'm enjoying with the axe. So now with Charge Blade, I'm just going to play it the way I want to. and that it means using it mostly an axe. Charge blade users, just look away. I'll eventually get better at it, but in the early days, I know it's going to be hard. So with the new switch skills, I went into my first fight, which was the Tetranodon, my big chunky duck / platypus. I love this monster. This is probably the first monster in Monster Hunter Rise where I'm like, I love it. You're chunky, you're big, and you know, I like my monsters chunky. Chunky.
I like 'em big. I like 'em chunky. I like 'em big. I like 'em plumpy. I like 'em round with something.
I really wanted this song and not get a copyright, all right? It's also the first monster that caused me a faint, which I will blame on the switch skills. But you know, if Tetranodon is my first faint, I'm okay with that. He is a good monster. He kind of emulates the whole like sumo approach. Like he's like a sumo. He like stomps with one foot and then you get gravity things. I love that he like grabs his gut and just like slams the gut on the ground, which I wasn't ready for. And I got gut slammed. He even like sat, like he jumped up. And I was like, I don't even know what I was thinking, but he just like jumped down on me and just, I put up my shield, hoping my shield could deflect this probably like 2-ton duck from falling on me. And of course it didn't. But it was a fun fight. Nonetheless, I really enjoyed playing with him, even if he caused me a faint. I did not use my axe efficiently on him, or my charge blade, I should say. So as I get better with my weapon, I'm going to have to revisit this. The armor also, it's a very like tanky kind of Space Marine armor. It's also one of the more unique armors that I've seen so far in Rise that I really enjoy. So I wouldn't mind grinding out a Tetranodon and getting that armor look. Then we went back, we did a few quests, and you know, we joke about how easy Monster Hunter Rise is despite me being in low rank. But there was this one quest I did, the supply run quest, which I don't even understand what is the point of it. They drop you, there's a cart, and then you just run up the map, you pick up 10 packages and you're done. And I'm just like, this isn't even hunt down like berries across the map. It's literally go in a straight line and pick up the drop packages and you're done. It felt really, really unsatisfying. And then I actually dabbled more into the buddy system. So now that I'm getting a little bit more of the other stuff kind of out of the way and I'm more comfortable with how to manage and all the menus and everything, I'm starting to go more into like the secondary aspects of the game. So the buddy system, saw that we could train them using some Lagniapples, which was, we're going to keep it classy, but I learned about the Lagniapple. And then we did some recruitment, and I love the fact, specifically because I'm streaming, I love the fact that I can recruit more buddies, because we're actually going to use this to, basically some high profile community members are now going to be named after Palamutes and Palicos in the game. And we've already named our first one. I think it was a Palamute named Takashi, as Takashi has been a very generous member of the Heiji community on streams. So I like that I can actually use a mechanic in game to integrate with the community aspect when I'm streaming. Other than that, we don't have enough buddies yet to go on to send out Meowcenaries and do stuff, so I'm probably going to unlock that next. And then the next big fight of the night was Khezu. Frickin' Khezu. Not only is this thing ugly, it is the living embodiment of whoever designed this monster knew exactly what they were doing. I mean, the thing is just bald, it is slimy, it looks like a leech, and it's disgusting. It's just so disgusting, and everything about it I hate. It's also, plus they made the skin hard, so like you try to, oh man, this is really hard to talk about, but you try to like fight this thing and like my axe was just like bouncing off of it, and I'm just like, oh my god, this thing is so annoying. Which also, this fight really made me hate the charge blade, the bone, I think it's called the bone charge blade is the one I'm using, which has a very low sharpness, which is why my axe kept bouncing off this thing. So it was just annoying because it kept screeching at me, and then it kept like extending its long neck at me, and it was really unpleasant to fight. For some reason I tried to flash it, but it has no eyes, so that didn't really do much. the whole fight was a struggle. I fainted. I lost to this massive leech. And even I went to capture at one point. It's limping. I put my trap down and it just nopes out of there. It flies out of the cave and goes somewhere else. So I had to end up, I think I killed it in the end. And then even though the whole fight was just terrible, was unsatisfying, I really hated looking at this thing. And then its armor is no better. Its armor looks like its flesh, which looks like a leech. And who wants to look like a leech? Like, it kind of looks like Assassin's Creed, honestly, like the base armor. But the chat had me look at all the other like versions of the weapons and stuff, and everything looks like you basically peeled the skin off a leech and just put it on yourself. And I don't want any of that on me. I don't want to look like Khezu. I don't want to smell like Khezu. I don't want to do anything related to Khezu. I don't even want to fight this thing ever again. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at it. It's gross. It's gross. The whole thing is just gross. Music's banging though. Its theme song, fantastic. So that was Khezu. And going from that to my next fight was like, it just felt so good. The next fight was Baroth. And this was a new experience for me in the Monster Hunter universe. It was the first time I fought a monster that I had memories of in another game, in a new game. And I really enjoyed Baroth in World. So to see my familiar monsters in Rise, this was fun. So I was already done with Charge Blade. After the whole banging on Khezu, I was done with Charge Blade. I'm like, I'm gonna come back to Charge Blade when I have enough materials to build a proper Charge Blade that can actually cut through things. So we switched over to the hammer because I'm like, Baroth is a fun monster to bonk on, and this was an absolute fun fight. So it was familiar. Like I knew my monster. He moved very similarly to World. And then I got to play with the hammer, which was fun, especially because of the silk bind. So I know my way around the hammer a little bit. And so when I learned that you could like thwip above, hold the charge. So you hold the charge in your hammer, then you hold your silk bind charge, and then you just get launched and you come down and you like bonk like twice. And it's so satisfying. So I was always trying to position Baroth to kind of give me an opening where I could do that like 5-second charge and then just unleash like 200 to 300 damage on him, which at this point in the game, that is a lot of damage. So I got to pull that off twice. I felt way more in control. We also had Kulu in this fight. So I'm like, oh, my boy Kulu, get over here. And then I rode Kulu into battle, and then I was like hitting Baroth with Kulu, and it felt like I was just playing with old friends, and everybody was laughing, but it was just me laughing because everyone else was screeching in terror and dying. But it was a good time for me. So that fight was fun. The hammer was fun, but now I'm at a bit of a weird point where it's like, what do I do? I'm not enjoying the Charge Blade. I'm not enjoying the Bone Charge Blade. I'm enjoying the Charge Blade's moveset. I'm not enjoying the bounce. The hammer was fun on Baroth, but I can't imagine using the hammer on every monster. So I'm kind of like, I guess we're going to play different weapons for a while until I settle on stuff. I definitely need to grind out more monsters. The next, going into next week, I'm at the part now where the rampage is coming. So I'm going to have my first rampage. I might go into that with my switch axe, maybe just to get like the sense. So I'm not fighting with my weapon and I just can get a sense of what a rampage actually is. Really excited for that. The difficulty is now to the point, I mean, I fainted twice. The monsters are getting a little bit bigger. The difficulty is at a place where I'm like, okay, I'm pleasantly challenged. This is good. It could still go up like a little bit more to make me sweat. I'd be okay with that. But right now it's kind of a fun challenge. I'm just having fun hunting some monsters I know with some new movesets and just getting to experiment and play. So it's a really good time. But man, Khezu, that thing is going to haunt my dreams or my nightmares. If any of you guys like Khezu, I don't know if we can be friends anymore. But anyways, that is it for my journal for this week. I'll see you all next week with another Monster Hunter Rise journal. And until then, keep it classy.